Hello and welcome to Emotional Badass, where Moxie meets Mindful. I'm Nikki Eisenhower, life coach and psychotherapist, and your host of today's show. Today we're discussing going with the flow and letting go of control. We are recording on a Saturday morning, which is unusual. I have a lot of boundaries around my weekend time to be able to rest and recharge and renew. But all healthy boundaries have a certain amount of flex. So here I am recording today in that flex. If we have anxiety, if we struggle with depression, if we're recovering from addiction, if we're recovering from trauma, if we're striving to learn how to be peaceful, often what we're looking for, and we may not be aware that we're looking for, is a sense of control. Now, that doesn't mean I walk around and want to control what someone's saying or what someone's doing or the weather. It doesn't mean I'm a controlling person. It means I'm highly sensitive and I'm trying to walk my path, minimizing my uncomfortableness and maximizing my joy and my peace and my happiness. Our subconscious is a tricky beast in terms of learning to go with the flow. Part of why we're recording on a Saturday morning really early and flexing my soul care boundaries is because we've been sick. I got sick the first week of January. Then Chris got sick. Then I got sick. Then I got sick again a few weeks later. Then Chris became ill. So this week we couldn't record because Chris was ill. And it's frustrating, right? To sit with the reality that despite our best efforts, we just don't control all the factors. And we all know this in this logical, cognitive way that when we say it out loud, when we look at it in the face, we know that we are controlling very few of the factors that influence us day in and day out. Last week, we planned the first little weekend trip we've had in about a year since getting our puppy. So it was the first time Gusto would be away from us too. And we planned a road trip out of Denver that the plan was to leave the Thursday morning and come back Sunday. And Wednesday, we had the biggest blizzard and snowstorm. They called it a bomb cyclone that I've experienced since I've come to Colorado. Now, what that meant for us was that we woke up Thursday morning. We dropped Gusto off at his dog sitter's. Ellie, we love you. Thank you. And then we tried to head south to get to Santa Fe. Now, there was a 100, some reports say 150 car pileup because of that storm. Those people who were driving through that storm, trying to get home Wednesday to hunker down, and visibility got really, really wonky really, really quickly. This stretch of highway didn't have any shoulder. There was construction going on. So these cars just got packed. They hit each other. They just got crammed into this small space with no visibility. People had to abandon their vehicles, and the school buses had to come through to pick the people up. So that meant Thursday, the next day, plows were trying to plow through all of the snow, and buses were trying to connect with the people who had evacuated their cars so that the buses could bus them back in to get into their cars, to follow the plows that were removing the snow to get the cars off of the highway so that the highways could be opened up. So here are Chris and I early in the morning, having dropped off the dog, going, oh, we've needed this vacation. This is the first vacation we've had in a long time. And the frustration sets in, right? Because our intentions are often the sneaky culprit of so much of our discomfort, because it's an easy little slippery slope to go from intention to feeling this desire and this need to control it. Because it is true that I intended to be in Santa Fe for noon, But there was nothing that had to happen. I didn't have a meeting. I didn't have a work event where I was presenting. We didn't have plans. We didn't even have dinner reservations. It was just this intention. And maybe you can resonate with this idea of the intention. How often do you wake up in your day and intend to do all these things on your to-do list? Or we intend to have a certain vibe when we go visit someone, and then that doesn't happen. Even when we go to a yoga class, we begin a yoga class very, very often setting an intention. So we often think that everything about intention is so healthy and focused and moving forward and driving out the clutter and putting some blinders on so that we can hustle and make progress and hit some goals. And all of that is true. But so often, moment to moment, day to day, month to month, even year to year in our lives, because of weather, because of health, because of other people, because of layoffs, because of economy, even because of our internal hormonal systems flowing and changing, we don't control all the factors. So in soul care, in taking care of ourselves, in being emotional badasses, and embodying what that means, we walk the path of learning how to go with the flow and let go of control. In those moments of realizing I am not going to get to Santa Fe when I intended, this vacation is getting stalled. That's what's happening here. There are choices that we face in those moments. In that moment of me realizing, great, because of the weather, a full day, a quarter of the vacation is going to go out the window, and we're probably going to have to spend the second day driving. So half the vacation may be taken out. It's very easy in that moment of disappointment, of frustration, to go down a path that just frustrates us more. Had I made the choice to just allow that frustration, but I intended it and it's not happening, that resistance to letting go and going with the flow with things, our choice sits right there. So I could have either resisted it or gone with the flow. Learning to go with the flow opens us up to peace. It opens us up to becoming a soft place for ourselves to fall. So in that moment, the way that I processed that was, okay, I don't like this. I am frustrated. I am annoyed. I am disappointed. And let me stay with that for a minute or two. Just taking a few deep breaths into this is the reality of things. I am annoyed. I am frustrated. I planned this. It's not going my way. Even that little twinge of immature self-pity that can come up. Why me? Why today of all days? And we don't want to deny those very natural feelings. They come from all different parts of ourselves. And we don't want to pathologize or shame or shut down or squish our feeling parts. So I sat with that for a little bit and acknowledged it. And because of that acknowledgement, that's the trick. That's the secret. We can't just jump over the uncomfortable feelings. We have to learn how to sit with them for a minute. And the thing that can block me being able to sit with it is the frustration. But this thing already isn't going the way that I planned. My plan's already blown out of the water. Now, if I spend more time sitting in the feelings, I'm just going to be further behind. And that conscious or subconscious thought really screws us over. So I'm trying to shine some light on these moments where we're facing this healthcare choice of, am I going to allow this frustration, these feelings, this path being blocked, these intentions being blown out of the water? Am I going to allow this to really eat my lunch? Am I going to allow this to get under my skin, to take even more of my energy? And because of the work that I've done, because of what I value, that answer for me often in those moments is no, I will not allow it. So I sat with those feelings of frustration, the truth of things, then took some deep breaths and thought, how do I shift? How do I shift? Because it is up to me to enjoy every single moment of this vacation. And this may not be the ideal of being stuck in a teeny town that doesn't have anything to do, not being able to leave because the roads are closed. So we found a movie to go see. And it was a lovely movie, and it was a random movie, and it was a movie that made me happy. And we enjoyed it, and we enjoyed each other. And when we got out of the movie, we looked at each other and we said, all right, let's figure out what's going on. And either we can go back home and enjoy ourselves there, or we're going to be able to push through and we'll get in late tonight. And we were able to push through. And that's the beauty of understanding how to take care of ourselves through these kinds of frustration moments. We chose to bring peace into that moment. We chose to bring what we could do, what we could accomplish into our day instead of fighting and resisting and digging an anger frustration hole because we couldn't meet our intention. So let's take a moment to sit together and breathe into this concept, just a little meditative moment. Look for a future episode very soon, possibly the next one, where we talk about how to be still and how to support ourselves internally, slowing down. That'll be an upcoming meditation. Right now, let's take a meditation moment, centering and settling wherever you are. Taking a big, full, deep breath with me. And exhaling fully. Take 2 more deep, full, slow breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Continue to breathe slowly, rhythmically, and fully. Allowing these affirmations, any that apply to you, any that you want, allow these affirmations to wash over you. Allow your empathic parts to absorb whatever goodness you decide is good for you. Today, I hold space for my beautiful intentions. Today, I hold space for the beautiful ways the universe invites me to go with the flow. I find detours that are simple and easy whenever I need. I bring joy and lightness to each course correction I choose. I open to the wisdom of flowing. I let go of stress when I acknowledge I am not in control of all the factors. Thank goodness. Inhaling and exhaling. Today, I hold space for my beautiful intentions. And today, I open to the possibilities of going with the flow. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing the show. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those 5-star iTunes reviews that keeps helping so many other people find the show and realize that they are highly sensitive people, that they are survivors, that they are recovery beauties, And we are all connecting the dots to be able to do our healing more swiftly, more deeply, and more authentically. Thank all of you that are sending me messages on social media and reaching out to work with me. I very intentionally make working with me very easy. You are welcome to get on my website and book a session anytime you see that I am accepting new clients. I keep that information up to date. A new development for me, and I'm pushing at my own growth edge of where I am learning to let go of control, is I have found my very first, I'm going to get teary, assistant. So all those people who have reached out to me, I'm about to have some help catching up with these messages and having some help with the show and my practice. And I'm going to be very transparent with listeners because I know so many of you are soul entrepreneurs who listen to the show. So many of you are therapists and healers. And I know that you want to take your businesses and your practices and your healing light. You want to expand that. You want to grow it. And I know that a big part of that resistance is in the letting go that it takes, the vulnerability it takes to allow more help. No one can do it alone. We all need help in different ways, different flavors. Emotionally, professionally, tangibly, and then we need that emotional support too. So I'm going to be very transparent with you guys with this process. I'm sure I'll have Kat on the show to talk about it because I'm sure it's going to be a little messy at times. And I'm going to push through because that's my growth edge. That's what I need right now. And I know you're working at your growth edges too. So thanks for being part of this tribe. I want to thank some people for these 5-star reviews. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charisse. You call the show essential. Thank you for that. Such a sweet review. Thank you. Thank you. Claybird. Oh, I'm glad you've been boosted while you're going through a rough patch. Good luck to you. Keep up the good work. It gets better. It gets better. Zeus Victim. Thank you for your 5-star review. I'm happy to start the day with you. Thank you. Cabrina78. Thank you so much for your review. Yes, you are referencing a really, really good point. Lies make us feel icky, make us feel sick. That's one of the things that might let you know that you are an empath if lying feels that way to you. Oh, Cabrina, I'm so glad you found the show and you've opened up to healing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work, lady. Thank you. This looks like someone from Virginia Tech, 9193. Accidental healing. You stumbled across the podcast. I love the stumbling. Isn't it fun to find something that just really, really resonates? To me, that always feels like a divine intervention or an intuition that just sort of sends me and connects me to the things that I need when I need them. I love seeing the proof that that's the way that y'all are finding me. Thank you. Awakened 18. Oh, it really does take a team. None of us heal with one person. I'm so glad you have found multiple healers to help guide you on your path. I definitely would not be as healthy and whole as I am without multiple healers and guides. I'm honored you're listening. All of you, I'm so grateful. We have so much cool stuff coming to you. Thank you so much for supporting the show. I haven't forgotten 10% of our Patreon does get donated forward. I've been letting that build so that we can give kind of a nice juicy donation. I have someone in mind. That's part of getting an assistant and some help is catching up on some things like that. So thank you for your patience. I haven't forgotten, and I'm excited to talk about that next pay it forward donation that we do. And that's our collective emotional badass spirit. Those patrons who are supporting the show, you're funding that. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sending big, big hugs and light to you. I hope you have an easier time this week setting your intentions and going with the flow where the universe invites you to. Thank you so much. Light and love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.